Hi, I'm Dr. Gaby Cora, and welcome to my show, Dr. Gaby's Take, Make Life Interesting.
There was Simone had done research, and there was a group called Mommies to Be, which was fantastic because it was a group of gay women who wanted to be mommies. And so we joined this group, and it was a library full of knowledge.
It was a great resource. Yeah.
It was fantastic because you had everybody's different views of how they wanted to become moms, what they had to do, or how they became moms.
I'm not sure if the group is around anymore.
Because everybody had babies. So
But it's the best self-help group.
It was great because there's so many different ways to go about it. And through listening to everybody's story was how then we came about. Okay, this is how we're going to do it.
So pretty well organized.
Well, you have to be. It doesn't just come naturally for gay couples. So.
How did you select who was going to become a mom first?
My age.
Yeah, Mayda's.
I'm 5 years older, so
you were like,
that clock was ticking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then?
And that was fine. We started doing a little bit of research about different places that we would need to go to acquire the necessary components to have babies, and we found the right place for us. And Mayda was very, very fortunate. We used a great fertility doctor here in Florida, and she was very fortunate. She got pregnant right away on the first try. And then we found out we were having twins. So, yeah.
How was the pregnancy for both of you?
Well, by the time we were pregnant, we had already started our second business. So we were launching a wholesale company. And
Births everywhere.
Yes, we're very fertile, very fertile, business-wise and personally. And so we were setting up the second business, and that was to be a much larger scale business. And so, Mayda was incredible. She worked all the way through her pregnancy, and in fact went to the hospital in an ambulance to have the babies from the office.
Wow.
Not necessarily that
Twins.
she planned it that way, but she ended up having an emergency C-section, a little bit early. But that just showed, she just worked and worked and worked, and that's what we had to do. We were building businesses.
So no stay-home mom for you at the time?
No.
Back to
we
business.
kind of dream about that.
Yeah,
like what it would be like to be, a little bit more of a stay-at-home mom, or a little bit more of a home mom. But that's a dream at this point.
From the very beginning, did you both feel that you both wanted to go through through a pregnancy?
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So that was the original idea.
Yeah.
And then when did you decide that it was your turn next?
Well, we had the twins in 2002, and 3 years after that, we had Noah, our little baby, and we just wanted them to be close enough in age that they would still, get along well, and they would be young together. And so a couple of years after the twins were with us, then we started the process again.
How about adoption? How did that come into play? The headaches of what was going on from a legal perspective, and your search for wanting to make sure that you were both related to the babies so that you could take care of them.
Well, it was
How did that go?
frustrating for us that we wouldn't legally have the opportunity to adopt each other's kids. The fact that it was even discussed as each other's kids was really infuriating to us, because we had been a family for so long, the two of us. Then we had these three beautiful children, and we'd done everything that we needed to do through our attorneys to have all the documents in place, and all the healthcare surrogacies and all the documents that are required. Again, we're not allowed legally to be married, so there are a lot of extra legal steps that we have to take to protect our family and that we had to take to protect our children. So we went through all of that, and it was just really frustrating that we couldn't protect our family in the way that most straight families and straight parents just take for granted.
So what are some of the challenges that gay families encounter by not being legally tied to their children?
Well, I mean, at this point, it's no longer illegal. The ban was lifted a year ago.
After a lot of really hard work.
Hard work, a lot of hard, different organization, ACLU, Equality Florida. But
what would your concerns have been? What were the challenges that you encountered, or the fears you could have had?
We, thank God, didn't encounter any difficulties besides monetary, because we had to take all these extra steps. But of course, there was always that lingering that a relative had more rights to the child that Simone or the child that I had
than each other.
Than each other.
Yeah, and we would hear about horrible cases where a family maybe there was a situation where there were two women who were on a vacation with their kids. They went into a hospital, and the hospital denied access to the partner when her partner was very, very ill, and the partner ended up dying without her loved one, her partner, being able to see her and say goodbye, and the children were denied access in some way. So, because they weren't considered next of kin or they weren't considered related, and how does that benefit anybody? I understand that since the hospital has apologized for that, that was a local hospital. That was a local Miami story, and you hear about situations like that, and then situations where perhaps one partner dies and the family of that partner decides that the loved one has to be kicked out of the house, or that they're not necessarily a part of the family, and so inheritance rights and just worldly goods that perhaps should be given to the loved one need to be accounted for, and unfortunately nothing can be left to chance. So we were very, very happy when we had the ability to legally adopt each other's kids.